All right. NFL overreaction or reality? You could see this Seattle team repeating.
I think that's an overreaction, but it's also a reality because I could see it. Now, if you're going to say they're going to repeat, that's whenever I'm going to have a sterner line on this. But I could see it. But I also understand teams catch up real quickly.
For sure.
Now, the effort that they played with this year is hard to repeat after you've already done it once, too. You have to be very motivated to do it multiple times, especially at this point now. It just seems more difficult. I know the Chiefs kept getting back. They had it built the right way, for sure. But I think they're a well-built, well-constructed, well-rounded team. I need to know what they have that is exceptional other than their defense. Offensively, I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is great, and Sam Darnold did a very good job of not screwing up. I guess that's all you can ask. So you know what? I'm changing it. Reality.
Whoa!
Man, I just talked myself into Sam Darnold being a two-time champion.
Alec, this could be a bitter pill for you to swallow. You can see this Seattle team repeating.
Overreaction. Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same spot, Kevin.
Hater.
And that's exactly what happened there.
Hater!
I'm going to keep leaning into it. If Corey's going to back out of the bit, I'm just going to lean into it stronger. But no,
okay. All right.
But, like, from a serious football perspective, like Corey said, teams catch up. They're very good at identifying what other teams did well. And they say, hey, how can we do that better? And I think of a team that they're very familiar with having that mentality. The Rams, I think they're going to come back stronger next year. They got the seal of approval from Matt Stafford that he's going to be back. They're another good draft away from being just a dominant force again. Who knows what the heck San Francisco is going to be next year? I just think that the NFC has so many teams that are hanging around the rim that are just a couple of moves away from saying, hey, on paper, we're just as good, if not better than you. So I think it's just going to be tough. I think Seattle's going to be really, really good again. I just think it's going to be tough for them to repeat.
You know, he pointed out teams are really good at picking up on things. Listening to Bobby this morning, he was talking about there was audio from the sideline, from the Seattle sideline, where they were like, hey, watch when he gets on his back foot. Once he hits his back foot, he pauses and he waits, and then he makes sure it's open. That's he's going there. You're going to be able to jump one of those routes and get a pick. Like they pick up on these things so fast, dude. And it's not because they're cheating like Michigan did. You know?
Okay, well, you know what? And then I think I might know y'all's answer to this, and I can't remember if I've asked this question before. Overreaction to reality, Sam Darnold will start another Super Bowl in his career.
I think it's an overreaction right now.
Okay. All right. Overreaction to reality. This, once again, you know, I was telling you CBS had their hot take off season, Justin Jefferson to the Bills. They also said the Cowboys would trade George Pickens to the Broncos. Now, overreaction or reality, because this is the compensation they pitched. You would trade George Pickens for a second-round pick.
No.
Man, that was so fast.
I mean, for one, they already have Cortland Sutton. I believe he's under contract for a minute now, too. So they already have him. I know that's two different receivers, but...
And they still need better weapons.
Yeah. That's just not enough for what George Pickens can produce. He's a number one receiver. Like he's a legitimate number one type receiver for you. He will win one-on-one battles. I don't understand why I would trade him for anything less. His value is too high. So I have my bar set very high, a 1 at the least.
Okay.
But beyond that, man, I think you can get a lot more.
Alec, overreaction to reality for you. You would trade George Pickens for a second-round pick.
You can miss me with any conversation involving trading him that doesn't involve a pick 1 through 32.
I'm with you.
I just can't, because there's no reason for me to look at him and say, yeah, second round player. Like Corey just said, he's a wide receiver 1 in the NFL. The only way I might consider it is if pick number 33 is on the table. I'm like, okay, I get to lead off the second round, or I could use that to move up and get a Caleb Downs or something. That's when I would entertain it. It has to be one of the first 32 picks in this draft, or I'm not even listening to any offers there, because I've already got his rights with the franchise tag. I'd rather just keep him than undervalue his market.
You know what's really interesting about that? Since you just mentioned that pick, Alec, we're projecting a lot, but let's have a little fun with this. Let's say somebody did give you a number 1 pick for George Pickens in this draft. You could try to make a push to trade pick 20 for pick 33 and 44 from the Jets. And so then you would still have 2 firsts, but now you would also have 2 seconds, including the first pick in the second round.
What if I got number 21? Would I want to trade the 21st pick for the?
Yeah.
What if I got pick 19?
I think that would be about the range.
18?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So I'm going to draw the line at 19, 20, and 21. Yeah, if you made the trade with Carolina or Pittsburgh, I think you could figure out a way to make it happen. All right, overreaction or reality. Kenneth Walker made himself a crap ton of money in the playoffs.
What is his contract like
He's
right
up
now? He's up for contract.
That was the end of his rookie deal.
Yeah, if I'm Seattle, you're my hero. You're my running back for the next 5 years. Thanks for getting us a Super Bowl.
Okay, so you will pay, because usually the theory is you don't pay for the pass, but in this instance, special circumstance.
I know what the player is. It was the biggest moment, and he was like, "I'm here, guys."
Yeah,
and his teammate, Zach Charbonnet, he was like, "That's my brother. He's hurt," and so Kenneth Walker, when he got hurt, he's like, "I just have to play harder," and he did. And so, yeah, I absolutely am like, go ahead and cash that check, buddy. Congratulations.
By the way, I know people are concerned about what would happen to the team, but if you're George Pickens and you hold out and don't sign the franchise tag, the whole process just carries over to the next year. So that's a loser. You have to show up.
You have to hold out the whole season?
Yeah, no, you have to show up by, I don't remember what week you have to show up by to get credit for a season counted.
Oh yeah, because you lose those checks too.
Exactly.
So and then players don't want to do that. I will say this though, man, it is terrifying thinking that Jerry and Steven have to renegotiate with Mulligetta, and knowing that all of this mess just happened. And that dude, historically, he doesn't have a single player that's ever played on the franchise tag for one. And then on top of that, he gets them money.
Look, I go back to it. Don't let your money get mad. Nope. And I think that's what Mulligetta was like, hey, I won. Mm-hmm. And maybe the Cowboys think they won,
but
too.
He also knows I will do every tactic it takes in order to ensure that my next client gets the most money from me.
As he should,
yes,
right?
Absolutely. That's what you pay him for.
Alec, Kenneth Walker made himself a crap ton of money in the playoffs.
That's an easy reality because he showed, like Corey mentioned, in the big moments, he shows up the most. He's got a Super Bowl MVP, a Super Bowl championship to go on his ledger, and I don't think it was any coincidence that literally the day after he scored 3 touchdowns in that playoff game, he switched agencies to David Cantor and Aura Sports Group. So that was there's probably somebody out there that can do a little bit more justice for my wallet because I'm going off right now. That level of self-awareness is impressive to me because he is everything that you could have imagined and more. And I just think about Corey's text during the Super Bowl to us where it was like, hey, those 84 of the toughest yards you've ever seen. Yeah, remember when I said that, I meant that in the first quarter.
First quarter and a half.
He is a game wrecker at this point. He's going to be so rich.
NFL overreaction or reality, if you want to make the playoffs, all you have to do is be good at scoring defense. So 8 of the top 10 scoring defenses made the playoffs, and guess where Seattle was? They were number 1.
And you know what, Kevin? One of the reasons they also were able to score points.
That's true.
Because their offense put them in position for that this year, too. I'd say it's a well-rounded team. Their offense was really good, too. I'm not trying to discount their offense. Their defense was so good that their offense was able to be like, oh, no, we don't have to do too much. But whenever your offense doesn't have to do that and they can just play their plan, they don't have to take too many risks, then the risks that they do take are going to be higher percentage shots downfield to an open Jackson Smith and Jigba for touchdowns and points. So what's going to end up happening is your opponent is trying to catch up. They're trying to catch up to you. Now your defense can pin their ears back and get after the quarterback, create these things, create these turnovers, and then keep that score low.
Right, absolutely. Alec, what about you?
Yeah, I'd say reality, because the NFL is so focused on offense right now that if you can figure out how to force these guys to make mistakes, then you're probably in good shape. And I'm intrigued really to see what direction it takes in terms of the coaching cycles going forward. Is it going to be the hotshot defensive coordinators that get more looks now, because you saw it this offseason with Jesse Minter getting a big opportunity? I wonder if that's going to be the trend, if you see some of these defensive-minded teams winning Super Bowls and everybody's kind of like, hey, scoring points on the other side of the ball and stopping people from scoring points, that's kind of important to the game too. Maybe we should try that.
NFL overreaction or reality. The Dolphins and Cardinals are going to face challenges in unloading Tua and Kyler Murray.
Oh, absolutely. Because neither quarterback has lived up to what their draft position was for one. They've required a lot of money already in those contracts that they signed. So I think,
and that's why I think it's going to be. Sorry, Corey. That's why I think it's going to be tough. Maybe is because those teams, even with a restructure, are going to be like, "Hey, we got to eat all that money," and the other team's going to be like, "Well, that's not my fault."
Yeah, exactly. And so that's going to be that's going to be problematic. And somebody's got to buy into, somebody that has that amount of money to be able to do that has got to buy into, I think I can change him. And like that's the only thing. Hey, we can make him the next Sam Darnold. And that's what they would probably pitch if they really wanted the guy. They would go pitch that to their owner. We'll make him the next Sam Darnold. But you got to believe that you can do that, and you got to know that you can do that. And on top of that, the player has to be willing to buy into that too. I'm willing to change. Some of the things didn't work out for me. That's not why I'm with my original team, and now I got to make some moves.
Alec, what say you?
Overreaction. Kyle Shanahan's going to trade for one of these bums and turn him into a starting NFL quarterback again. That's just what he does. I do think, in all seriousness, that teams get desperate and they get locked in on the idea that the talent is in there somewhere. There's a reason they were highly touted. There was a reason that they were highly sought after coming out of college, in Kyler's case especially. I do think that there's going to be at least a couple teams out there that are like, look, the finances suck. We're going to meet you in the middle, and we're going to make something work because we really do think that there's something left there. It happens at least once with these guys that were highly drafted, and it works sometimes. You see Baker Mayfield succeeding now. I think recency bias is going to kick in, and people are going to be like, hey, just a few short years ago, they were really, really good. Let's give them another chance.